we're all tied at one game apiece in the NBA Finals as the Oklahoma City Thunder dominated in Game 2. This thing wasn't even close. Pacers got it to about 13, maybe a dozen points at some point in the second half. You thought maybe they'll be able to pull it off, but no. 123-107 was the final. This thing, it wasn't even that close. Really wasn't even that close. It was a tough watch if you were looking for competitive basketball. The 68-win team that blew the second half of Game 1 definitely took care of business last night, showed up. Another remarkable performance for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 34 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. He now has 72 points in his first 2 games in the NBA Finals. Is that a new record? Did that set a new record?
It did.
For a man with a hard G and a soft G in his name, it set all the records.
It set all the records past Allen Iverson for the most points in the first 2 games of an NBA Finals career. Chet Holmgren showed up. The rest of the supporting cast showed up. And what now showed up is the Indiana Pacers going back home in a playoff series. In these playoffs, it is remarkable. Got to tell you, it is remarkable. They're going into Game 3 of a series for the first time in these playoffs. 1 game apiece. They took a 2-0 lead on the Bucks. They shocked Cleveland by taking the first 2 in Cleveland, and that was the Halliburton night in Game 2, where it looked like it was going to be 1 game apiece, and Tyrese took care of business. Church bells rang at the very end of that game to take a 2-0 lead back to Indiana, and that was all she wrote. Stunned everybody in Cleveland. In the Eastern Conference Finals, we all saw what happened in Game 1, a Tyrese Halliburton shot at the end of regulation to force overtime, despite being down a ton of points late in the game. They beat the Knicks in Game 1. The Knicks had a hangover in Game 2. They lost that one. Indiana eventually took care of business in 6. Last night, Oklahoma City's like, the battle is now joined in a way that Indiana has not had a battle joined yet. So we shall see how it responds, how the Pacers do respond. In the meantime, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander talking about setting that record for the most points in the history of the NBA Finals by somebody's first 2 cracks at it.
I'm being myself. I don't think I tried to reinvent the wheel or step up to the plate with a different mindset. Just try to attack the game the right way, and I think I've done a pretty good job of that so far. Now, I would trade the points for 2 W's for sure, but, this is where our feet are, this is where we are, and you can't go back in the past. You can only try to make the future better, so that's what I'm focused on.
Yeah, wearing a John Lennon T-shirt underneath a dress shirt, SGA, imagining what can happen now that they're going back to Indiana. And this guy is unstoppable right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And has caused the Indiana Pacers head coach to, either be brutally honest.
Just resign to the fact.
Resign to the fact or work in the refs. I don't know.
Interesting.
You interpret this soundbite, please.
Shai, you can mark down 34 points before they even get on the plane tomorrow, for the next game. I mean, the guy's going to score. We gotta find ways to make it as tough as possible on him. Williams played really well tonight. All their guys played well, and so we're gonna have to do a lot of things better.
Maybe that's a message to his locker room.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, he didn't specifically mention free throws, but
Well, he was in a mood.
Yeah.
Listen to this exchange with Rick Carlisle.
Curious, you talk a lot about disposition and physicality. How do you feel like your team handled that? Because obviously the Thunder seem to ramp up their intensity much more.
Not well.
Okay.
So there's that.
Okay. Listen, I don't think this is any, I shouldn't preface things this way, but I will here. I don't think this is anything terribly insightful, what I'm about to say. The NBA season comes down to a 72-hour period starting Wednesday. It goes Wednesday, Friday. We're not waiting 2 days in between games like we did between games 1 and 2 and games 2 and 3. Game 3 is Wednesday night. Game 4 is Friday night. We get ourselves a split, and they go back to the city of wearing all blue shirts. It was blue shirts, all blue shirts last night.
Yep.
If they gain a split in the city where they're all wearing gold shirts, yellow shirts, this is going to be a tough one for Indiana to come away with another win in Oklahoma City. I would proffer to say hold court if you can. Win your home games.
Yep.
Have a parade. That's the way it works. And if they go back and take both at home and take a 3-1 lead back to Oklahoma City, meaning it's all about game 6 then, we got ourselves a shot for Indiana. But the way I saw it last night, Oklahoma City has obviously what it takes to win one Wednesday or Friday night. And this is it. Indiana, you got your big, huge game 1 stunner. But
they did what they had to do.
They did what they had to do. They got a piece. Now they got to hold serve. They hold serve, off they go. We're going to see a parade, in Indiana.
Well, they're not taking 2 at home, I don't think.
We shall see. We shall see. It's going to be fun. That's for sure. Wednesday night. Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.